We are orphans, bro. We are cultureless. We don't have our own culture. We sign to culture vultures. We sign our life away. Our contracts to culture vultures. Think about everything that's cultural. Taking a knee is cultural. Being on social media is cultural. Wearing high fashion is cultural. Pushing a foreign is cultural. All these things are not owned by our culture. So who designed the culture? What does it mean to do it for the culture? That's why I do it for Christ.
Well, you know, it's funny, you know, in this world that we live in, there's two main motivating forces, and I tweet about it all the time. It's love or fear. And you can't explain love. You know, my cousin is locked up for murder, and I love him. And so he did a bad thing, but I still love him. And just as a musician, African-American, guy out in Hollywood, all these different things, you know, everyone around me tried to pick my candidate for me. And then told me every time I said I like Trump that I couldn't say it out loud or my career would be over. I'd get kicked out the black community because blacks we're supposed to have a monolithic thought. We can only be Democrats and all. So even when I said it right before I went to the hospital and I expressed myself, and when I came out, I had lost my confidence. So I didn't have the confidence to take on the world and the possible backlash. And it took me a year and a half to have the confidence to stand up and put on the hat, no matter what the consequences were. And what it represented to me is not about policies, and because I'm not a politician like that, but it represented overcoming fear and doing what you felt, no matter what anyone said, and saying, you can't bully me. Liberals can't bully me, news can't bully me, the hip hop community, they can't bully me. Because at that point, if I'm afraid to be me, I'm no longer Ye. That's what makes Ye. Just place a thought out there that everyone's not thinking sometimes. Galileo, they want to chop his head off for saying that the earth, what do you say, the sun revolved around the earth,
right.
Vice versa. I think people focus too much on the past and focus too much on regret. Even like when you deal with schools, like you take like the slave idea. My point is, I've heard of history class. I've never heard of a class that breaks down how you balance a checkbook or how you control your finances, which my father never taught me that. And I've never heard of a future class. So they keep us so focused on history that we start to believe that it actually repeats itself. And we become overly traditional, and we can't advance as a race of beings. We get too caught up in the past and what everyone's saying and what everyone's tweeting. And sometimes you just have to be fearless enough to break the simulation. Let's start with acting, first of all. And a 2-year-old screams at a restaurant, the entire restaurant screams, teach that kid how to act. We're all unpaid actors in some giant script that we didn't write.
You can make good choices or you can make bad choices. There's 24 hours in a day. You can waste them, like some of my friends did, most of my friends did, or you can do something positive and productive with yourself and with your life. Because once you get grown, nobody cares about you. You're on your own. You got your parents, you got your friends, a couple of cousins, and maybe some of them you don't get along with. And you will have to deal with all the problems that all the grown people around you are telling you that you're gonna have to deal with. It's no fairy tale, it's no lie. It's hard out there. So we all out here by ourselves, and we all out here to make the right choice to better our lives. You can make choices to worsen your life, or you can make choices to better your life. I came to all the forks in the road that you're gonna come to, if you haven't come to them already. All the people that want me to go left when I know I should be going right.
I said, look, my My father's a Black Panther. My mother got arrested for the sit-ins at age 6. They were fighting for us to have the right to our opinion, not the right to vote for whoever the white liberals said Black people are supposed to vote for. You get what I'm saying? And then James Corden went in and said, well, this president, you're Christian, and this president, I don't see anything Christian about him. I said, okay, so last year y'all tried to tell me who I'm supposed to vote for because I'm Black. Now this year, white liberals trying to tell me who I'm supposed to vote for because I'm Christian. That would be like, I live in Calabasas, so everyone in my car's gotta be a convertible, huh? Right. It's just all based on y'all vision of what I'm supposed to do. And I understand, like, a lot of people, it's not a matter of whether you like it or who like it. We are in a country where we allowed to like whatever we like. I love Jesus Christ. I love Christianity. I love the Sistine Chapel. I love all the paintings. I feel that Christianity, people make spoofs of it. I'll be looking at Family Guy, and I like Family Guy. I like Seth MacFarlane, right? But he makes jokes about the Christian faith. And I'm sure that's the way he was brought up, but I understand because North, when she talks about church, it's a positive connotation. A lot of us in those 4 walls, it felt like we were stuck in the pews. So like what we said 10 years ago, that you inspired for me to go there, we are now actualizing that. Another thing is like this idea of like apologizing. We'll apologize for saying George Bush don't care. Apologize for running on stage with Taylor Swift. Apologize for wearing the wrong color hat. I ain't apologizing nothing. Y'all dealing with grandpa now. I done been through too much. I'm the founder of a $3 billion company. You think I'm finna listen to somebody online tell me who I'm supposed to apologize for?
But you know, it's one of the things I think it got missed on TMZ is the main thing that I was stressing is the idea of trying love. You know, we're always, pushing out so much hate, and love can cure so much. Just to think, am I moving in love? Is this out of love, not out of pride? Pride is a word that people often say in a positive connotation, but it's actually one of the 7 deadly sins. And it takes too much ownership, but you can replace pride with love. And when I see people just even like go at the president, it's like, why not try love? For one person to stand up against all odds and just hug somebody the way that Alice Johnson hugged her family when she got out of jail. That one by one, we can defuse this nuclear bomb of hate that we're in as a society by thinking of everyone as our family. And how would we treat our kids? How would we treat our
I think that's a beautiful thought, but
Nobody told me I was gonna be here. I told myself that I was gonna get here. And what's good is the world is a big bowl of opportunity. And it's a big bowl of choices. Your brain can work better than your back any day. Your brain works better than your back any day. So get all this knowledge, because it ain't no good to make money and not know how to keep it. And you got to bring an effort to the table. You can't look for the world to make your life better. You got to make your life better. You got to bring in them grades. You got to do that work. And it's hard work doing everything that we do. Nothing's easy, not even for a rapper, movie actor, whatever you want to do it. It's all hard, and it's times where I don't want to get up and I don't want to do it. But I got to do it because this is my life.
I spent a year and a half after I got out the hospital, and I would go to Amoeba record store and I just start chopping up samples. And it's very therapeutic because I wasn't full yay. I don't know if I'm full yay now, or better or worse, whatever, but it was therapeutic just to listen to those songs and sample and go back to being 14 years old in my mom's house. And by the time it was time to do to put the albums out, we have a whole team at Yeezy Sound that will help come and do the drums, help with lyrics, help with choruses, and I'd give like 6, 7 people ideas that I want on the song, and I just go to sleep.
I have a theory about you, so tell me if this is correct. I feel like you feel like being bipolar is part of what makes you brilliant, part of what makes you, and you embrace it.
Yeah, I think that's another one of those things where people are like, how are you going to talk about it? The funny thing is, this is something I was like on the internet before. It was kind of funny, but it's not an opposite. It's not I hate being bipolar. It's awesome. It's actually, it drives more of how you really feel. It doesn't do an opposite thing. So I think it's important for us to have conversations about, you know, open conversations about mental health, especially with me being Black, because we never had therapists in the Black community. We never approached like taking medication. And I think it's good that when I had my first complete blackout at age 5, my mom didn't fully medicate me because I might have never been yay. And there's times where at least I'm happy that I know, like even like for this interview, I knew I wanted to stay in a calm state because by the time I got to TMZ, I was ramped up. So what was awesome is that the world got to really experience someone in a ramped up state. And that's when you get these comments that just shoot out, like almost like Tourette's.
Because you have highs and lows. And when you have a high, you're on a roll. And when you have a low, you're not.
Well, there's some cases of bipolar where people go low. I'm one that goes high.
I see.
Like Michelle Obama said.
So you don't have extreme periods of depression?
Oh, no.
No. Oh.
No. Because I just say it. I'll say on real TV, like, oh, I thought about killing myself, and then the thought is gone, you know?
Wow. So all people need to do is get on TV. That's really the solution.
Well, they need to be able to express themselves without fear of judgment. What I love telling people is like, who do you know? And yeah, let's go, especially Black men, but you know, I'm 41 years old, and I don't know anyone, you know, that up as much as I have, that's still as successful. My daughter went to a fashion camp for 5 days a couple weeks ago, and I visited her, and we put the thread through the sewing machine, and it really brought me to tears to think about the 15 years that I've been working on apparel, and for my friend Virgil to be the head of Louis Vuitton, and for me to have this, you know, $1.8 billion company out of, you know, a thread going through it.
And you guys are at an age where you got a lot of people that care about you, that's looking out for your best interests. Take heed. You don't know everything. Don't pretend like you know everything. Take heed to some of these people who love you, and recognize the people that love you, and recognize the people that ain't good for you.